Namaste all, welcome back to the new video in Samhiti channel, a channel which is exclusively dedicated to explore the Samhitas. Today's our topic is Guggulu Thrayam, in which the three most important formulations of Guggulu are explored. The Guggulu Thrayam is having the Guggulu as the basic constituents. It seems very funny for the patients who are hearing the names of Guggulu formulations, but at the same time, for the physicians who are seriously considering the cure of diseases, these are the most important and the crucial formulations. The most important property or the attribute of Guggulu that should be remembered throughout this video is its Yogavahi property, by which property Guggulu enhances the therapeutic properties of all other drugs which are going to combine with it. Now let's move on to the next slide. What are the combinations that come under Guggulu Thraya? Yogaraja Guggulu, Kaishora Guggulu and Kanchanara Guggulu. You can see that some of the letters in these formulations are highlighted. The purpose of this highlighting is to easily recollect in which dosha predominance, in which dosha associations these combinations are indicated. First of all, we will go to Yogaraja Guggulu, in which you can see the three A's are highlighted. A means A is very important for Vata, Vaata. So A is very important for Vata. So Yogaraja Guggulu is indicated in diseases where there is Vata predominance or Vata is the main dosha. Let's move on to Kaishora Guggulu. In Kaishora Guggulu, you can see that the I is highlighted. So I is most important for Kaishora Guggulu. In Pitta also you can see I, Pitta, Pitta. So Kaishora Guggulu is indicated in diseases where there is Pitta predominance. You can see K is also highlighted here with yellow color. So it can be indicated, Kaishora Guggulu can be indicated in Pitta Dushti or Pitta predominance associated with Kapha, and sometimes Kaishora Guggulu can be used in Pitta associated with Kapha and a mild association of Vata also. So the A is also darkened here. Next is Kanchanara Guggulu. You can see K is highlighted here. So Kanchanara Guggulu is mainly indicated for Kapha dosha predominance. And you can also see A. So it can be indicated for diseases where Vata is associated. Sometimes for diseases where Pitta association also we can indicate Kanchanara Guggulu by altering the Anusavias or the Anupanas. Next, we will go on to the details on the next page. Let's move in depth into these combinations. There are three columns. In first column, Yogaraja Guggulu, second column, Kaishora Guggulu, and third, it is Kanchanara Guggulu. So first in Kaishora Guggulu, Amavata is mentioned. Amavata is the prakarana in which Yogaraja Guggulu is given. So in Amavata prakarana, Yogaraja Guggulu is indicated. Kaishora Guggulu, it can be given in Vatarekta and Kushta. So we can consider the prakarana as Vatarekta and Kushta. In Sharangana Samhita, Madhyama Kanda, it is included. And for Kanchanara Guggulu, Galakanda is the prakarana. It is typically Galakanda is the prakarana. Next is the main ingredients of Yogaraja Guggulu. Chitraga, Pippali, Mula, Yavani, Karavi. There are so many ingredients which are having Ushna Virya and Tishna properties for Yogaraja Guggulu. And coming to the Kaishara Guggulu, we can see that Triphala and Amrit are the main ingredients. There are other ingredients also, but Triphala and Amrit are considered the main ingredient after Guggulu. Then in Kanchanara Guggulu, Kanchanara Tok and Trikadu. So Kanchanara Tok is Kapha Pitta Shamana, Triphala and Amrit is Pitta Kapha or Kapha Pitta Shamana in nature. Then we will see it is very important to know the ratio of the ingredients also, because then only we can assess the total action of the combination. So the ratio of these medicines in Yogaraja Guggulu, you can see 1:1 combination. One is for Guggulu and the other one is for all other medicines which are present in Yogaraja Guggulu. So that means all other medicines are having very less role in this combination. Guggulu is having the maximum effect. That is 1:1. For Kaishora Guggulu, we can see 1:3:1 is the ratio, where 1 is for Guggulu, 1 is for Amrita, that is Guduji, and 3 is for Triphala. All the Triphala like Amalagi, Haridagi, and Vividagi, 1:1. If we are taking individually, we can see 1:1:1:1:1:1. So Triphala, Haridagi, Amalagi, and Vividagi. So 1:3:1 is the combination where Guggulu and Guduji are equal in quantity. In Kanchanara Guggulu, the main ingredient is Guggulu itself, and all other ingredients are in one part. So 1:1 is the combination. And if we are looking deep into the combination with the ingredients, we can see that uh, the 10 part 10 is to 5 is to 3, in which the 10 is for Gugulu, 5 that is half part of Gugulu will be Kanchanara Tokku, and the 3 part will be Trikadu. Each of the Trikadu will have a 1:1:1. So total 3. And Triphala is also there with half pala is to half, half is to half is to half. That is 1.5. So 10 is to 5.5, 5 is to 3 is to 1.5. This is the combination of Kanchanara Gugulu, where Gugulu is in the 10th part. And but Kanchanara Gugulu is also a considerable, Kanchanara is also a considerable part. That is the half part of that of the Gugulu. That is the 5 part. Next is the dosha in which the Yogaraja Gugulu we can indicate Vata or Vata Kapha, where either in Vata dosha or when there is Kapha associated with Vata, we can use Yogaraja Gugulu. And for Kaishora Guggulu, we can see Pitta Kapha or Kapha Pitta conditions. We have to alter the Anupanas or Anusavias that we will mention later. So Pitta Kapha or Kapha Pitta is the condition where we can indicate Kaishora Guggulu. Whereas Kanchanara Guggulu can be indicated Kapha associated with Vata or Kapha associated with Pitta in rare situations. So, what are the main diseases, or what are the main dhadu dushtis which are present, which are indicated for Yogaraja Gugulu? Are in Vata rokas involved in Sandhi and Majja are the indications of Yogaraja Gugulu, whereas Kaishora Gugulu is indicated in Rekta Dushti Vikaras, where Rekta is vitiated and the diseases are manifested, like Vata Rekta, Kushta, Prameha. So many diseases are like this. And in Kanchanara Gugulu, Mamsa and Medas are the main vitiated dhatus. So in Grandhi, Abaji, Arbuda, we know that these Rekta is also there. Mamsa and Medas are the main. Then Yogaraja Gugulu, we can see the direct indications which are mentioned in the combination. Amavadha, Adhyavada, Krimi, Dushtavrana are the indications of Yogaraja Gugulu. And in Krimi also it is indicated because so many Ushnavirya drugs are there also. All we know that Kadurasa is very important in treating of Krimis. So the Krimi also it is indicated. Dushtavrana. Dushtavrana can be due to Avarana pathology, right? Kapha, when there is Kapha Varana in Vata, especially in diseases like peripheral arterial diseases, there is Avarana, that is arteriosclerosis or atherosclerosis will be there. So Avarana will be there, and it will cause reduced blood supply and causing gangrene, dry gangrenes. So Dushtavarana, in Dushtavarana can be also indicated Yogaraja Gugulu. And Kaishora Gugulu. Kaishora Gugulu is indicated Prameha Pidaga. We know diabetic carbuncles. Then Varana is there, wounds are there, chronic wounds which are having Kapha and Pitta or Pitta and Kapha predominance. Kushta, Udara, these conditions where there is Kapha and Pitta predominance is there, then we can indicate Kaishora Gugulu. Then for Kanchanara Gugulu, Arbuda, Abaji, and Grandhi are the main indications. So next we will go on to the Anupana or Anusevya. Anusevya of Yogaraja Gugulu is Maharasnadi Kashaya. We have in the previous segment we have detailedly mentioned about the Maharasnadi Kashaya, in which one of the Anusevya of Maharasnadi Kashaya is Yogaraja Gugulu when there is Vatarokas. Then Kaishora Gugulu, the Anusevias or Anupanas mentioned are Ushna Jala, milk, and Manjishta Dikvat. Ushna Jala, we can indicate when there is Kapha predominance and Pitta Anubandha. Milk can be indicated when there is Pitta predominance and Kapha Anubandha. Manjushtadi can be indicated when there are skin diseases, Kushta, Kapha, Pitta predominance. Then next we will go into the Kanchanara Guggulu, where the Kashayas mentioned are Muntitika. This is a Spheranthus indicus. It is a plant, and it is indicated especially in Kapha, Vata predominant, Granthi, etc. We can indicate this Muntitika Koda. And Kadirasara when there is Kapha Pitta association. Afaya Kwada when there is Kapha Vada. So when Kapha Vada, we can give this Kanchanara Guggulu with Afaya Kwada. Kapha Kadirasara, and in Kaphavada again Munditiki Munditega can also be indicated. So these are the some of the details of Kanjanara Gugulu. Next we will go on to the next slide. Here we will see some of the modern day diseases in modern terminologies where we can apply these combinations. So, Yogaraja Gugulu can be applied in the remission stage of rheumatoid arthritis, that is the Nirama Avastha of Amavata. We can indicate a formulation in every stage of the disease, even though it is mentioned in the direct reference. We can indicate in every stage, but in Niramavastha we can indicate because Yogaraja Gugulu is having Stigdhamsa. It should be stored in Stigdhafanda. It is prepared with combining with Grida. So Stigdhata is there. So Yogaraja Gugulu can't be used in Samavastha, but we can use it in Niramavastha or Niramavastha of Amavata. Definitely, it can indicate in osteoarthritis, it is Sandhikata Vata, peripheral arterial diseases where there is Avarna, Kapha Avarna to Vata, intestinal worms that we already described, and a gangrene due to peripheral arterial diseases. All the Dushtavrana, all this we can indicate Yogaraja Gugulu. Kaishora Guggulu, we can indicate in diabetic retinopathy, where the diabetes is involved in retina. Also, there will be recta pitta vitiations, and kapha association is definitely there. Then we can indicate Kaishora Guggulu, psoriasis, allergic eczema, where there is Visha. So Visha Shamana is the character of Guduji. So we can indicate Kaishora Guggulu in allergic asthma, diabetic carbuncle when there is deeply involved diabetes is there, vettic gangrene, non-healing ulcer where there is pitta kapha or kapha pitta associations, productive cough. We see that Vasishtha Rasayana, Agastya Rasayana, etc. are mentioned in the productive cough, right? So when there is Haridagi is the main ingredient. Here in Kaishara Gugulu also Haridagi is an ingredient. Then Ekene, then gout when there is accumulation of uric acid crystals in the joints or there is aggravation or there is increase in the levels of uric acid. Then also you can indicate Kaishara Gugulu. In Kanchanara Gugulu, when it comes to Kanchanara Gugulu, you can indicate a tumor when there is hypothyroidism, that is Kapha Meda Avarana will be definitely there, thyroid nodules, fibroids, etc. You can indicate Kanchanara Gugulu. Next, is there any restrictions for diet for Yogaraja Gugulu? For Yogaraja Gugulu, there is no restriction. There is no restriction because this is Vata predominant stage. At Vata predominant stage, we don't need to give restrictions. It is mentioned Yadeshta Aharavan is mentioned. The patient can take any kind of food that he desires. That is the Yogaraja Gugulu case. So Yogaraja Gugulu, not restrictions are given for diet. For Kaishora Gugulu, there are some restrictions. Amla and Tishna are said to be avoided because it is indicated in Pitta predominance, right? So Amla Tishna should be avoided. Ajirna also should be avoided because Kapha association is already there. So Ajirna also should be avoided. Guru Ahara should be avoided. Vyayama, Shrama, Atama, Madhya, Krodha. All these are aggravating Pitta. So anything which is aggravating pitta should be avoided, either it is diet or regimen. It should be avoided in case of Kaishor Gugulu for getting the maximum benefit. Kanchanara Gugulu, there is a specific administration time. Time of administration is mentioned in Prabhada Kala, that is morning time, because morning time is Kapha Kala. That is why it is indicated in Kapha Kala. Kanchanara Gugulu is indicated. So it can be an entrance question also, which Guggulu is indicated in Prabhata Kala, that is in Kanchanara Guggulu, and which Guggulu is having no restrictions of diet, that is Yadeshta Aharavan, in which combination it is mentioned. So it is for Yogaraja Guggulu. These are entrance questions also. For Kaishora Guggulu, we can see that this is a Rasayana also. Kaishora Guggulu is a Rasayana also. Already there are Rasayana medicines are there. Triphala is there, Guduji is there. So it is a Rasayana also. Even Guggulu is also a Rasayana. So Agni Vriddhi, Bala Vriddhi, Tejo Vriddhi are the special benefits of Yogaraja Guggulu. Agni will increase, Bala will increase, Teja will increase. And some special prayogas of Kaishara Guggulu is for Netra Roga, it should be used with Vasa. Vasha. So Vasha with Netra Roga, because Vasha is also Pitta Rekta Shamana in nature. Netra Roga, we can use this Kaishara Guggulu with Vasha. Varuna for Gulma. Varuna is for Gulma, when, especially for some Pitta and Rekta, Pitta associated Gulmas, like Rekta Gulma, Pitta Gulma, etc. When we can use Varuna, because Vata Shamana, I told in the first session itself, in some cases where Pitta predominance is there, Kapha association and Vata is mildly associated, then also we can use Kaikshora Gugulu, where we have to modify the Anusevya or the Anupana. Here Varuna is the Kvada which is mentioned. And Kadira for Vrana and Kushta. So Kapha Pitta or Pitta Kapha. Right. So for Vrana, Kadira Sara we can use. So we will move on to the next slide. I think now you have understood some concepts about the therapeutic mode of action of these three combinations, that is the Guggulu Traya, and you have to revise the same again and again to have a better understanding. End is always the beginning of something. Let noble thoughts come from all directions. And thank you for listening. Please subscribe and share my channel if you are interested to learn with me. Thank you.